Yeah.
Let's get it over with.
Let's get this over with.
Questions.
We say with us like probably settling in for a good 3 hours of questions from chat.
Nope.
All right. So welcome everybody back. I should probably do the spiel. Welcome back to the captain's table. For those of you who are just rejoining us back, especially if you're watching this from the last episode. If you missed the last episode on YouTube, up there will be just above Fastcart's head will be a link to the last episode we did. We talked about 317. We talked about the funding tracker. We talked a little bit about the Navmesh and the battle cart. The battle cart, best cart. Go talk to.
I would love it if the name that, but it's battle trolley. But yeah, battle cart. I would, yeah.
The battle trolley. Oh, battle trolley. Yeah, battle cart. No, battle cart. That's the name.
I have the power.
And you should go watch that first. Then come watch this if you watch this on YouTube. But otherwise, stick around, ask questions, answer we're here to answer those questions that you were asked by chat. Starting with Galactic Command, who asks, have you, and if not, will you help recruit for the Boreal Fight Club? Of course we're gonna be recruiting for the Boreal Fight Club. Both Vertigo and I.
People who don't know what that is, what is that? Am I going to be sorry I asked?
Oh, yes, you are.
There's going to be a creature in Star Citizen called the Boreal Stalker that exists on Microtech.
I know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So you're there. So Boreal Fight Club. What do you think is going to happen here?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm there now. I got it.
You know, Operation Pitchfork. Yeah, there's Operation Boreal Stalker.
Mm-hmm. It's Vertigo and I's fight club for Boreals.
It's either the right to bear arms and the left to bear arms as well. Because you got to even them out. Give them lefts and rights.
It's not a sex thing. All right. It may involve something, but we just need to have a safe word, because when you're getting your butt kicked, you need to have something to call you out so that someone can pull you out and not get ripped.
You can have your wingman come out.
Oh
and
my
take
God.
You out.
You know.
I hope somebody asks a question about the rope stuff, please.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the rope stuff.
We totally forgot about the bondage.
Ask a question about the bondage wrap.
Hey, Paul, what's with this rope stuff on the roadmap?
We're going to talk about it here in a moment. We'll save it. We'll save
it. We'll save it for the end.
Because
so they have to watch all of it.
We're
not going to get to it at the end, though. We're going to get to it now.
Yeah.
It's
too late, Paul.
We are 2 minutes in. We are 2 minutes in. Demonetization.
So Galactic's got us covered. Galactic asked the rope question already. Let's keep going. Next question.
All I'm going to tell you about the Boreal Fight Club is that HCVertigo's safe word is teacup. All right, that's all I'm going to say. All right, next question comes from Death Trooper 177, who asks, so what I want to know is, why is CIG not releasing all of the holes at the same time, even though they were supposed to be completed in Squadron 43? I think you meant Squadron 42, but that might be funny too. That's a good question. Why aren't they releasing? Does anyone have an idea? Fastcart, you want to start?
To get the tech in, because they needed to get the tech in, and then, because I mean, the whole D and whole E are going to be the hardest one to make in game. So they're starting out with the whole A, because it's that simple to get all the spindly and the animatronics and the animation in. Then the whole C, because that's probably the most popular whole in people who, if you go to people who bought it, and in lore, it's the most popular ship in lore. So, and then once you do that, they can downscale it for the whole B and hopefully upscale it for the whole D and whole E.
Yeah,
that's my take.
I agree. I think the other thing is, remember, is that the whole A can have its cargo extended and still land, which is why it's coming out first. And because the whole C is the most popular for many reasons, it makes sense to build that first and then build out the other options. And it maybe that's the reason why they're delaying it, because they're going to release all the holes together. So it makes more sense to release the whole C when you can release all the other holes together than releasing it at like 318 and then.
It's almost like this was a better idea than just trying to convince people the whole C was ever coming out.
Yeah. What?
In any reasonable time frame.
Oh yeah. I was just saying like it's canceled. What are you talking about? Yeah. No,
It's not canceled. It's just delayed. It's like salvaging. It's just been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. It's just like, why not just do one of the smaller holes first?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the hole was like 2016 or 2015 when it first concept.
2015 or something like that. I can't remember.
It's one of the older concept ships.
Yeah.
Almost Redeemer vintage, Star Genesis Starliner vintage concept.
Redeemer 2014, so definitely not as long as the Redeemer.
Not as long as Redeemer. It's like I said, it's one of the older. Back when we had hangar ready ships before it was all just flight ready.
I'm looking through the. Yeah, I don't see anything here. There's nothing I can see.
Look for the Q&A. I can look it up while you do the next question and come back to it.
I got 2 seconds because I actually pulled up the Q&A. It has it on the list. The 2015, April 2015. So,
thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
April Fool. No.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's and the only thing that's in Squadron 42 that I know of is the whole C. I don't think they've ever referenced the whole B or the whole D in Squadron. So, and the whole E, you don't want the whole E coming out until like.
No, I could barely take the whole D. Paul.
Has it been 10 minutes?
I'm sorry, man. That joke is just hanging in the air. Like you can't say nothing.
Wow, that's perfect. I'm sorry.
Let alone the whole E.
Oh man,
I'm just mad I didn't make that joke.
There you go.
That would disappoint me.
His joke's just hanging in the air, just swinging out there to be swatted away.
All right, this one's specifically for Fastcart from Ionic Gecko. Can we get a Banu, Merchant Man, and thoughts on the progress so far?
Okay, so let me bring up my VCam real quick. I need some help with that. So, okay. Here we go. So this is I'm getting my help.
Okay.
Can't really see it. There you go. Oh, there you go. All right, so here we go. Banu, Merchant Man! And what was the second part of the question? I'm sorry.
What are your thoughts on the progress so far?
Oh, the thoughts on the progress? I'm loving it. I don't think we'll get it this year, but the longer it takes, the happier I will be, because I know it'll be better the longer it takes. Because if they do give it to me this year, sure I'll be happy. I'm like, maybe they could have worked on it longer or something like that. But I've been waiting so long for the Bandit Merchantman. It's almost like when it does come out, I'll be disappointed because I no longer have anything to look forward to other than the Endeavor. So yeah, as far as like the engineering and the other aspects of it, I'm loving that they're giving us updates about it in ISC and whatnot. So yeah, I'm really much looking forward to it.
Hey, Fastcart, can you move over for a second?
Like that?
Yeah. He looks good. I'm good.
Wait, when did he say that? When did he say that?
That went before his haircut.
That was the Citizen Con when they did the big Benny measurement reveal.
Was it?
He was reading tweets.
He was so underappreciated during Citizen
someone saying that.
He was so funny between bits at Citizen Con.
All right, I will ask the next question and answer it because it's Fastcart. And Fastcart's asking this question, and Fastcart is trolling because he knows it. And I'm going to give a nice response. I had to look this up. Fastcart asks, will 7.317 be the Jesus patch? And everyone knows the Jesus patch. I've said the Jesus patch is a stupid thing. It's dumb. It makes no sense. In fact, I'm going to start calling all patches that are not Jesus patches the Saint Simeon patches.
What about the Judas patch?
Because Saint Simeon is the patron saint of fools. So from now on, it is also known as the Holy Fool. So It is if all patches are now the Saint Simeon patch until.
Oh, you stole my joke. I was going to say instead of it being the Jesus patch, I think it'll be the Holy Ghost patch.
The Holy Ghost patch. I think the Saint Simeon thing is a little bit more subtle because most people won't get it that it's the patron saint of fools. But yes, I like the Holy Ghost patch.
Well, you just told them all over the internet, so they're gonna get it now, Paul.
Only if they only if they watch this show, which not all of them do. So, all right. Next question comes from Ayana Gecko, who asks, "Do you think the Navmesh will enable NPCs to roam around wreck sites by the time the cargo refactor is implemented? And how will this aid? How will this aid in creating more interesting cargo missions?" Buster, what do you think?
Please, yes.
Okay. Vertigo, what do you think?
I mean, you're gonna have NPCs. I don't think it's gonna be anything super complicated with AI nav mesh. It's just gonna be having like pirates wandering around the wreck sites, shooting at you as you try to collect like Zeta Prolinade.
I hope they have like
boxes.
random like bits of dialogue where they're just like saying dumb
Whose
crap to
footsteps
each
are
other.
these?
Hey, did somebody know there's a guy walking through here like 20 minutes ago? Because I see a bunch of tracks and they're not mine because they're walking the same ones every time.
Hey, you know what? I'm looking forward to more like really funny commentary and jokes between each other.
God,
like someone being like, "My balls
Actual
itch." It's
banter.
Like
Hire Conan O'Brien and what's his face, his sidekick.
I don't remember the guy's name.
I know who you're talking about.
Andy Richter,
Richter,
because they've done that kind of thing
Andy
in video
Richter,
games. I would love to see the two of them in Star Citizen being two like dumb security guards.
Oh my God! Fun about that. I don't know about NPCs roaming around wreck site. I could see them like standing in place, and maybe being a mission or quest giver. Like I need you to collect 10 all your stalker skin and bring them back to me.
I can't guarantee you that they will be wandering around the wreck site, but I can guarantee you they will be T-posing around the web.
They'll be standing on top of the cargo boxes you're trying to recover.
Yes.
I swear to God, we have pet AI in the game already, except they gave it to the human AI. Because you'll see them standing around staring at walls like your cats do when a bug gets loose in the room. You'll see them standing on, they're on top of all the furniture that they're not supposed to be on, like the coffee tables, the chairs, the fridge, the cupboards.
Okay.
They like to knock stuff over all the time.
I will take some responsibility for AI that are T-posing on chairs because there was a recent, like a couple weeks ago, I kept using gurneys to shove them onto chairs. So it persisted for like 48 hours in a server because I kept getting put back in the same server in the PTU, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm bad. I'm sorry, CIG, but not sorry."
I like putting.
Now I'm gonna say you're not sorry. You're not sorry at all.
I think I think Buster's kind of alluded to this earlier. Like someday we'll look back and look at all of the chaos and be like, remember when that silly funny thing was in? Because we were already
these are the good old days.
Like
nostalgia for older versions of Star Citizen. Just how awful is that to have a video game?
We have it already.
There's people who still talk about 2.5. There's still people who
remember the
talk
old
about
we had in the hangar module. Remember how you had to get into the pod to access Arena Commander? We already have nostalgia.
The flight model for 2.6, you know, people already have member berries. It's been 10 years, Vertigo. People are gonna have
right.
People are gonna have member berries about. Go ahead.
Remember then when there wasn't jail?
Yeah.
See?
Those were good times. Those were good times.
Told you.
Remember when there was a death course you could run with your gray cat buggy and you could like jump over
that one. The death course.
Remember when
the social module first came out?
Oh my God!
The death races in
the death. Remember the death courses in Area 18?
Remember when you could speaking of gray cats, like I used to play bowling with my friends and they would fly like high in the sky. It was amazing. I miss those things.
Oh,
yeah, y'all remember.
Hey, Gwen, remember 30Ks?
I mean, I still
had 30K recently.
I've had 30Ks very recently because of Xenothreat, but like before Xenothreat, I was just like, where were these from? Like as Buster pointed out, getting in the same server for 48 hours because they don't crash. It's almost a problem that we don't have 30Ks now because we don't get fresh servers. We just get old janky servers that refuse to die. They're like that 22-year-old like pet who's like just clinging on to life, and you're like, oh my god, I feel terrible for this pet because it just lays there and then gets up and walks around and eats food and then like lays back down. That's what I feel like these servers sometimes. Like, so will somebody please euthanize these servers? This is a crime against humanity.
I'll tell you, I remember one that I don't appreciate. Remember when we were all men in the verse?
Yes.
Ugh, gross.
I know.
At the very least, when women were added, we had good butts finally in the game instead of that flat Hank Hill having butt that we have with the male model. That's just unacceptable.
I used to go around and role play as Billy Idol.
Yeah.
Remember when black people couldn't vote? Oh wait. Oh, Black History Month, everybody.
I have a sad now. All right. Next question comes from Ionic Gecko, and it's actually for the entire cast but me. So we'll start there with Fastcart. Ionic Gecko asks, what is everyone's favorite ship manufacturer and why? So Fastcart, what is your favorite ship manufacturer and why?
For me, it's a tie between Mist would have always been my first favorite, but now it's a tie between Mist and Crusader because I love the M2, I love the Star Runner, but I think I'm a little bit torn on Mist because of the Odyssey and that whole debacle. So probably the Crusader now.
Crusader? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the MSR or just because of the aesthetic?
Oh, the MSR, the M2, the C2, the way it's like Millennium Falcon-ish, and the way the doors and everything open and the color scheme and, you know, the Smuggler's Bay in the MSR and everything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Vertigo, what's your favorite ship manufacturer and why?
Anvil.
Why?
Because I like the Hornet.
Oh, really? Still?
Yeah. I mean, they have the F7A,
Mm-hmm.
and you also have the F7A Mark II.
And then you
Those
have
are sexy.
the F8 coming out at some
The
point.
F8 Lightning.
Yeah, the F8.
You have the Arrow, the Hornets. Dude, there's a whole bunch of Hornets. Everyone forgets about the Ghost, the Tracker, the F7C, the F7CM, the F7A, the F7A Mark II.
Yeah.
And I just got the Heartseeker for Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
Buster, favorite manufacturer and why?
Well, for me, it's mostly Anvil because I love the Arrow. Arrow is Bay. But I also love my Heartseeker. Heartseeker, I'm sorry, but it is a fantastic ship. Because it's visually one of the most unique ships in game because of the paint on it. And like lately, I've been getting into Consolidated Outland.
Okay.
Just because the hover quad.
Yeah.
The hover quad, okay.
It's so much fun.
My mistake.
That thing is so dumb.
I love it.
Okay. You better choose your words carefully, sir.
Oh, I will choose my words carefully. I've been using these words on this thing all week. Okay, the Dragonfly is better because the Dragonfly has weapons, shields, a seat for a second person, storage capacity, and came out first.
Okay.
And don't forget the storage mode, which they confirmed in the Hover Quad's Q&A session.
Sucks?
So there's 6 things that the Dragonfly has more than the Hover Quad. And you know what? The Nox is even better because the Nox has style.
Okay. Listen, Linda. Okay. The thing is,
okay, Karen.
First of all, the Dragonfly, you can't even get your gun out when you're in the second seat. Like, that's bullshit.
I mean, like, okay, is there a second seat on the Nova Quad?
I don't need
so who cares about it being able to draw your gun? Like, if I want to ride off into the sunset with my best gal, I can't on the Dragonfly.
Jerry, 6 points. Get up, please.
Jerry.
Continue on, Buster, please.
The hover quad is one of the most fun things that I have driven in this game in a while.
It is incredibly fun to fly and to drive around in. It's.
Oh my God, Danger
fun.
Hobo, you're dumb, and I hope that you are proud of yourself for being super stupid and dumb.
Were you born that stupid, or did you learn that in school?
Oh God.
I don't know.
Seriously though, like, why doesn't the hover quad have a second seat? It makes sense.
No, because
it doesn't have any shields, doesn't have any weapons. It has a little bit of cargo space. Why can't it have a second seat?
I guess you can have a second seat if a male sits in the back because they have no butt. There you go.
And but it does have a weapon. It does have a self-destruct device. Why does the equivalent of a Harley Davidson hover motorcycle have a self-destruct device on it that could blow up a 600i? Paul, tell me the lore behind that. Is that because the companies hate themselves and they secretly want to become terrorist organizations?
It's
and
because
their little power struggle fiefdoms.
It's because I forgot his name, Silas Kerner. Because Silas Kerner likes big booms and he cannot lie. So the brothers can't lie.
I love the ASMR aspect of this show, Paul. Yeah.
Look, the hover quad is a fantastic fly. And it gets sweet jumps. Mm-hmm. I've literally jumped over like half of New Babbage with it.
What happened when you land? If you only jumped over half.
And the only reason the Dragonfly will get better is if the Star Kit and paint is available to me eventually. See, that's when my opinion, because like the paint options on the hover quad are beautiful and fantastic.
How about a Star Kit and paint for the hover quad? What would you do then?
Wait, what?
Huh?
A Star Kit and paint for the hover quad.
It will even increase the amazingness of the hover quad. Though I do agree, I wish it had some guns or something. I wish it had something. But whatever, it doesn't.
I will say, because even though it's not been asked, I will say, because someone will ask eventually, like, but Paul, what is your favorite? It's Drake, because Drake is the best manufacturer of all time, and it's just quite clearly the only Drake pilots are the good ones, the dead ones. There's no in between. Yeah. So that's why Drake is the best. You
get good or get dead.
Get good Drake. Or get dead. There is no other option. There is nothing in between, which is why I love that manufacturer, because it does not care about safety. It gives you. It'll say we can rip the safety feature out and we can add another gun to this thing. Or more shields.
Yeah, but how much does an ejection seat really take up?
It takes up precious amounts of weight that could be used for more fuel for me going faster. All right, that's the answer.
Okay, but what about Paul? How much space does a self-destruct device take up too? Couldn't we take the self-destruct device out of a cutlass or something? Add another gun.
We should. That's the kind of Drake manufacturing thinking.
Or we could add another thruster or something.
Yes, more guns, more ammo, more shields.
And this is why the Q&A session will take 3 hours.
Yes.
This right here.
Don't worry.
The questions.
Don't worry. We still have 21 questions to go.
Okay. Let's go.
Imperial Nexus asks, do you think CIG will alter the rate at which ships consume fuel or decrease the overall tank size of ships in 3.17? Or any other method of nerfing fuel in order to artificially create demand for starfarers while we wait for Pyro?
That's a good question. Maybe. I don't know.
CIG will always do balance changes between patches. Will it come in 3.17? I don't know. Will it come eventually? Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Go ahead. I think the fuel rate, but that's just my guess.
I don't think they'll do anything, because I think they know that players will be fascinated enough about the idea of getting refuels that they'll like play with it so they can get a lot of testing in. And then if players just stop testing it because the novelty wears off, then they'll change it. That's what they did with quantum travel and a bunch of other stuff like that. So, all right. Danger Hobo asks, we already answered this, but you can get this. What is the HC? Is the HC hydrocarbon? And did Greta Thunberg put you up to it when she what? Was 7?
First, no. Second, I don't know. No.
Hobo, are you okay? You hit your head? Like, what's
Link
going
twice
on?
if you need us to send an aid car, Danger Hobo.
Yeah. Did Subliminal's absolute reckoning of your of the Reliant like hurt you somewhere? Is that what's going on? Sorry, Danger Hobo is the one who said that the Reliant is the best and rated people based off of their love of the Reliant. Which is why BusterTheDestroyer was on top S tier and Paul Shelley wasn't even on the list.
Mm-hmm. No, you're thinking of Lord Holyman.
Is that Lord Holyman?
That was Lord Holyman.
Oh, okay, that's different. All right. Fastcart asks, "Hey Paul, is having Fastcart at the end of Black History Month your way of making reparations?" Yes, because I'm a teacher and I'm broke.
It's a compromise, okay?
Yeah.
It's a compromise.
We're only 3/5 through the months.
Nice. High five.
I expect 3/5 compromise jokes to be made by Fastcart, not by you, Vertigo.
I'm sorry, I've been on the show so many times with Fastcart, I've been desensitized.
That's what happened.
All right,
I talked to him earlier. He gave me a 3/5 of a pass.
Okay. God damn it. Buster, this is a question that I'm going to have you answer and nobody else answer because you're the one of the few people in this show who helped me with the Jumptown documentary. So, and as you are famous for quoting about how Jumptown is about chaos and the thrill of the hunt from Jumptown, the question that Hey It's Nick asks is, JT safe?
Well, what day is it? It's Saturday. No. Never. It's
Never.
safe. It's safe if you just don't think about it. Don't go there.
Just don't go about
Just
it.
don't.
Okay.
Don't go
Is
to
it
JT.
safe when you wear a full-size body condom?
Isn't that the Beacon flight suit that you get when you respawn? That's basically what it does. It just protects you from like diseases in space. That's all it really does.
Jumptown is basically all you need to know is Jumptown is always safe and nothing bad ever happened there ever. Just never.
Also, congratulations, Paul, on having your Jumptown video actually acknowledged officially on the CIG website.
Yeah,
right.
it's actually
pretty cool.
It's the second time, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's nice that more people have
I must have missed
it,
the first time because this was like the first time I saw it being mentioned for when they did Jumptown.
Yeah, when they did Jumptown 2.0 back in December, they did this. This is just
They linked it.
Yeah, it was a republish. So
they even had it like on the page, so people could watch it from like the website if they wanted.
From the website. Yeah.
So are you going to do a Jumptown 2.0 documentary, or are you just going to ride the wave on your first one?
I'm resting my laurels. I'm done making things.
I don't think you need to do a new one unless like there's some really significant player events that happen there that people talk about.
That was
other than the usual of what happens at Jumptown.
That was the thing that it's like I'm probably not going to cover a lot of the events in lore because we don't really know where they stand in lore. But the reason why Jumptown 1.0 was so interesting and unique was that it was entirely player driven. That was just eventually made into lore, and that's more interesting to me to make lore stuff about for that kind of thing. Is like things that make
Paul,
lore.
I can't wait for your Boreal Fight Club documentary.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh my god.
All right. Sly Fez asks, is CIG going to implement long hair for characters in 3.17?
Ooh, I'd have to actually look to see.
I didn't see anything.
I don't
wouldn't hold
think
my breath.
so.
Yeah.
On long hair coming to Star
It
Citizen
just
for a while.
says implementing art updates for DNA archetype heads that will improve the quality of all DNA heads, both for players and NPC. It doesn't say anything about hair, but then again, they did some stuff to the eyes, and that's part of the
Yeah,
head.
they had long eyelashes.
I
Nothing
think-
about long hair.
I think there's some differences in the current hairstyles, but I don't
Mhm.
think there's like new hairstyles being added.
I don't think
from
they're adding new hair yet. Like I
yet.
think, yeah,
Eventually, but not at this second.
yeah, because this isn't the hair refactor or whatever they're doing. Like the stuff where they're kind of overhauling all of the new hair. So
Yeah, because they have like
DNA faces, right?
yeah,
yeah.
but this is why they
Still
emphasis
waiting
on
for
the eyes and the
beards.
eyebrows. Yeah, I think that's a pipe dream. I don't think we're ever going to get procedurally growing beards. I think it'll just end up being like a mesh on your face, just stubble.
If you want to talk about beards, go look at Twitter and all the weirdos talking about the new Horizon game. My God.
Because though then again, I've been wrong before, and Vertigo can confirm about this about hygiene.
Hygiene, what's that? You gotta take a shower every day, Chris Roberts. How's that realistic?
Not just showers, but shoilets. The other part of the shoilet.
Oh,
Hey.
yes.
At least you're not doing it in the drain.
God. They're all pipes, Buster. They all go to the same place.
Oh my God.
All right, next question comes from Del Enar, who asks, CIG added reworking Lorville's cityscape to the progress tracker. What would y'all like to see added to the oldest city in the verse? Fastcart, what do you think?
Oldest city in the verse?
Well, current.
Currently
In the current
game.
build.
Like,
yeah.
Levski would like to have a word with you.
Yes, but it's not in the game. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe a baghead vendor.
A baghead
Baghead
vendor.
vendor.
That's
Yeah.
not
Wearing
part
a
of
bag.
Skyline, though.
What about Skyline? Anything like an iconic tower or anything like that?
Unless he's like standing on a balcony somewhere.
Oh, you already have an
It's a
iconic
Hurston
tower.
Tower,
It's the
right?
HD
I was going
building.
to say, there's a Hurston Tower, right?
It's true.
It's a gigantic monolith of a structure. How can you miss it?
You mean the Wayland Yutani? Is it not Wayland Yutani? What is it from? It's from Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember that name of that building.
How about you,
lighting.
Vertigo? Would you like to add anything?
I need to go back and watch Blade Runner again. That's a good movie. Great soundtrack. Anyways, am I excited? Yes. Why? Because every time I go through the take the trams to the central business district, I can never not unsee how awful the buildings are. Literally,
Okay.
1999 called. They want their goddamn geometry back. The texture work on those buildings is so bad. Like, you zoom in and look on it, it's just like they just tiled a texture over every building, and it's just there's detail and whatnot just all randomly in there. It doesn't make any sense. It looks like
You're
something
being
out of
too
like the
subtle. Tell us how
original
you really
Unreal.
feel.
It's the reason why they had they had restricted zones, the kill zones before, so that you wouldn't get too close to see how bad they look.
Yeah,
'Cause
unfortunately, the tram takes you too close.
straight through
it takes
them.
you way too close to the buildings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited that them going down and revisiting Lorville. I don't know if they're going to revisit, like, I would love to be able to have like little landing pads out next to the gates so you can land closer to get vehicles. There's so much with Lorville I would love CIG to revisit, and hopefully they have enough feedback from the community to realize what the community would like to have Lorville, do with us. The gate stuff, the trams to the gates are really nice, but it's really kind of a pain in the butt to get to the gates. Around the wall with a ship, you have to land your ship outside the no-fly zone. You have to walk in for like 5 minutes, it feels like, sometimes, to get a vehicle. It's just easier to go to another outpost, pull a vehicle there, and then go off to your adventures with the vehicle in your ship. I like I guess they're just redoing the skyline, so I definitely want to see some better buildings. And you go look at like ArcCorp. ArcCorp's got some better buildings and better ideas on for like how structures should be arranged there. But I'm excited. I'm excited that CIG is sitting down and touching up Lorville again, because it needs it.
Would you add anything to the skyline?
I don't know. I would say almost flatten the city out a little bit more and make the HD building a little bit more prominent with it. You really don't need skyscrapers there, really. I'm not quite sure how many people work and live in Lorville, but it does have a spaceport. I would like to see more shanty towns actually, instead of having like the skyline build out. I'd rather have the city get wider. Like you have the city gates, right, and then you have shanty towns outside the city gates where like more poor people live and whatnot.
Yeah.
Kind of give you the idea of like there's the have and the have-nots.
Uh,
Because Hurston is not a nice place to work.
Yeah, more of like that dichotomy between like the poor, like how bad the conditions are for most of the people who live there, and how excellent the conditions are for people who like basically own the town.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. I think that's I would agree with that.
I mean, just to be honest, ArcCorp and Lorville are two planets I don't really visit. I spend most of my time in New Babbage and Orison or Horizon, as some people would call it. So I've been to ArcCorp and Lorville. I just don't hang around there much, so that's why I probably don't have much to say about those.
Buster, what are your thoughts? What should they add to that?
I mean, I kind of agree with Vertigo about that, just like that dichotomy type thing between what we were just saying, like the have and have-nots, whatever. But it's, I mean, overall, I think and also like he was saying, it's like the older of the cities in the game, so it doesn't have as much newer tech applied to it as maybe like New Babbage does. And so I would agree with that. But also just some lighting, like a little bit more pop in the lighting of the city, because it can be a fairly dark city compared to, some of the others. And I know that there's like reasons for them to have different lighting styles. Yeah, like I get that. Like, but just a bit more activity lighting, I guess, is the way to put it.
Sorry, I was just look at the chat real moment.
yeah, I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
Look, I'll just address it directly right now. Hey, Danger Hobo, I get that, like, there's biology involved in, like, why natural-born women and natural-born men are, like, different physically. I totally understand that. But it's also a video game, and we're 930 years in the future, and it's a future full of people being able to pump themselves with drugs and do whatever the fuck they want with their bodies. So, who cares? Who fucking cares about the point you made? And it had nothing to do with the conversation that was happening. So, fuck off.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Basically.
It's that fucking simple, dude.
No one cares. We're talking about Star Citizen. It has nothing to do with whatever insert bullshit. So. All right. Next question comes from. I was going to talk about Lorville. Sorry, Lorville. For me to add to Lorville, I want, and this is going to sound dumb as shit, and I love it anyways. I want a monster truck arena.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Because I want a racetrack in Lorville.
That would be sick.
What would a place like Lorville have? It'd have bread and circuses. So you want something that's like a racetrack that doubles as a monster
to keep
truck
the
arena.
people, like if they're in this place of like keeping like the people who are not as rich as the Hurstons are down, why wouldn't they have bread and circuses? I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
a giant coliseum where you have things like monster truck races or monster truck rallies and races, and because it also double as a place where players could put their spawn their vehicles and drive them around in a circle.
I would be on board. Instead of monster truck, make it Titan suits.
There we
Titan
go.
suit races.
Or Titan suit
what was
fights. Gladiators with Titan
that-
suits where they're
that
beating each other up.
What was that stupid monster truck game from Idiocracy? It was like the main character gets they take him to court and they have him fight in an arena, a gladiatorial arena in like a Pinto versus like monster trucks with like these gigantic jackhammers and drills mounted to their hoods. Anyone seen that movie?
I remember
I
that.
have seen that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes. Something like that, because I've been a big fan of like we need to have some sort of like actual races for cars and stuff like that, and there's only 2 real locations.
It was like Friday Night Rehabilitation. Our thing, I think, is helping me out here.
Yeah,
in the chat.
rehabilitation. It's rehabilitation. Yeah, you're right there, Buster.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard something in the ceiling.
Is it a cat? It could be a cat. Is it?
I don't know what it is, but there's something in the ceilings.
It's 20 meters inside the room. Why don't you put the panels
it's
up?
probably a squirrel. One of my it's probably Greg.
Oh,
It could be the intern creeping on you.
Is it Gary? Has Gary paid you a visit, Buster?
Who?
Gary, the
Gary.
squirrel.
Probably. That's probably him.
He wants fries. Buster.
Yeah, I know.
But there's only two places in Stanton where you can have roads that make sense, and one of them is Hurston. So if you're going to have roads, why not have a road that just goes in a circle? And if you're going to have roads that goes in a circle, why don't you just make a bunch of a stadium where people can go do dumb stuff, you know? Hey. All right. Next question comes from Steve B. Dancer, who asks, do you feel, with the cargo refactor, your mole and prospector bag will need to be released from the ship, then moved to freight elevator, then go to the refinery?
What?
So what he's asking is, do you think you're going to have to actually physically unload the saddlebags from a prospector, take it to the refinery?
Oh yeah, when physicalized cargo gets in. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
They are adding.
But I don't know.
Okay, so hot dump. So they are adding small landing pad hangars, small hangars to space stations, and that was like an Inside Star said this not long ago. But as we have the pads, the question is, how do you get the cargo in? Well, there are garages on those landing pads. For those of you who haven't looked, next to the elevator, as you walk in, there is a gigantic door on most of those exterior landing pads where you could drop the saddlebags off, grab it with a tractor beam, and fling it into an area. The door closes and teleports it to the refinery.
Yeah. I could also see that if you go into like the hangars, there are side passages, which one of them, and almost all the new hangars, also has a passage that goes directly to the hospital for emergencies. So you could easily just turn one of the side passages into like effectively a grain elevator or something. You just throw cargo on and it goes straight to the refinery or whatever. Like one of those, you know, when you're in those mines where they have that like conveyor belt that like kind of like drags the rocks all the way back out, sort of thing. Those modern refineries or modern things. So something like that.
CIG has ways of making stuff disappear. You put into it, you put your box on top of a thing, the thing closes, and then it opens back up, ready to receive the next thing to be put into it. There's things you can do there.
But I do think that there'll be physical moving of that stuff, just because CIG wants to add idle time, and they don't want to make mining to be something where you can just instantly sell and then get a bunch of money and that kind of stuff. So loading and unloading saddlebags will be a thing. What do you think there, Buster? Do you think we're gonna have physicalized unloading and loading of saddlebags?
Yeah.
I don't get the joke if it's funny.
Because Chris Roberts likes to make everything super immersive, and you know he's just a glutton for punishing us. So is the guy, the Z guy, Tony Z.
Tony
I
Z.
mean, he's like, slow down the quanta there. I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
Fastcart, what do you think?
Not sure on this one. Sorry, don't have anything on this one.
No. Okay. Next question comes from Stevie Dancer, who asks, do you feel it's time for long claim times from 312? Fastcart, what do you think?
What?
The long claim times. Remember in 312 they originally released these really long claim timers. Where they space it out so like big ships would take something like 12 hours for something like that.
I think it'd be good it'd be better when the game goes live, but for the alpha and beta, no, not so much. Cause you know they want it to be testing ships and stuff like that and reporting on them. If we can't claim the ship for 12 hours, how can we report on bugs? That's my take.
All right. Fastcart. What do you think about Fastcart? Vertigo.
At least you not calling me Fairstalt this time. I'm grateful for that.
Now I'm going to do that. Vertigo. What do you think? Do you think it's time for those long timers to come back?
Oh man, like it's still pretty easy to lose your ship these days. I I mean, though that we got the crashes kind of wrangled, we got disconnects kind of wrangled a little bit. I'd rather just leave it the way it is right now, quite honestly. But I don't see any gameplay reason to add like extra insurance timers to Star Citizen. Like, what exactly would that do? I'm like, a lot of the ships still don't have a lot, like the reclaimer and whatnot. Like, people who'd want to play with their hammerheads would just have to wait like 45 minutes before what are you gonna do? You're just gonna log out if that's your only ship. For people like me who have like a massive fleet, it's not gonna matter because I can just play with a different ship. So you're not affecting me that badly. It's usually the people who are affected by it are usually the people with like one ship, like a medium sized, like a Constellation, a Freelancer, a Reclaimer, and a Hammerhead or something. Those are usually the people who are affected by that sort of change. So you're just antagonizing people for what? In an alpha? For why?
Yeah.
Like what exactly are you going to accomplish by increasing the wait timers for ships? I mean, a lot of the PvP players, like, they lose their ships, have to claim it, and then spend money to expedite it, or they go to Klesher and have to wait to get out of Klesher. I don't know. Okay. I would say no. We don't need increased wait timers on ships. Maybe later.
Buster, what do you think?
To be honest, I think I agree with Vertigo. It's not something I would want to implement. I mean, not that I'm like, I'm not trying to be an armchair developer. I would hope that it wouldn't be implemented until like there's more motivation for it, if that makes sense. Like when the game's closer to being released, I don't know, because it just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like one of those things where it's like, okay, Klesher's kind of annoying because you can literally die and get a crime stat for like just barely doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of, pain in the ass sometimes when the game puts you in jail when you didn't do anything to be in jail. It's just that the situation, the automation or whatever read it that way. And so I don't know. Like, I feel like it's too easy to like lose ships sometimes, but I don't know. I mean, do what you're gonna do, CIG. I'll just be along for the ride, and if it annoys me, I will yell about it on my stream. I'll just be mad, and I'll get over it.
I kind of agree with everybody else. I don't think it's time for the longer timers yet.
Yeah,
there needs to be more safety nets. It's too hard. I think the longer timers are coming, but I feel like there's almost no point in doing the long timers until they have Quanta in. Yeah. Because like the whole system is supposed to be like, when you request a ship, when you like claim a ship, it comes back to you personally from a lot somewhere, or has to be built and sent to you.
Let me revise my answer. If it turns out that they add different tiers of insurance, like we basically have like a basic insurance now, and then when they add a different tier, like you pay more money for more insurance, then the base insurance will have a longer timer, and then the better insurance will have a shorter timer. I can see them using that for a test, but right now, no.
Yeah, until they have those sorts of quanta elements into the game, it almost makes no sense. Like you kind of already have what's effectively kind of simulating that, and there's too many ways to lose your ship for bullshit. So it's like, there's no real point. Like it doesn't really test anything, because you're not really testing anything with longer claim timers other than maybe gameplay. But there's no real point in understanding that until you build the system that you're going to use it in the first place with. It's just, All right.
Paul, I know you did disabled question, but I just have a quick question for you
sure.
I would like to answer real quick. Paul, what do you think of when you heard the term bang sting in the Como video?
I loved it. I'm glad that Fastcart, you're keeping alive the bang stang tradition. For those of you who don't know, the bang stang came up because a friend of mine termed it the bang stang, because I said it was something like a Winnipeg, or it was like a VW bus mixed with a muscle car. That's to describe what the Mustang Beta was. And he said, "Oh, so it's a bang stang." And I said, "I'm going to make that famous. I'm I'm going to say
Oh my
everyone
God.
call it the bang stang, and it's worked so far. So, but no longer is it really the bang stang. It is now the prison stang because the inside looks like the inside of a county prison. County jail. I'd rather it look much more. It used to be so much sexier. It had the Netflix and chill couch.
This is it right here behind me.
Like there was like a couch that you could like get in and kind of relax. And there was a little screen in front of you, and it was like you take your bae back to the bang stang. You cuddle up. You watch something sexy, or you watch whatever, and you enjoy yourself there. It wasn't even separate from the bed. It was just. Beautiful, it's glorious.
It was definitely a lot more homey.
Yeah.
It felt like a home. Now it just feels like some sort of industrial crate that metallic and industrial and just uncomfortable and cold. Very cold. No warmth.
And just to let you know, I did like 8 lines for I recorded 6 lines, but I submitted 8 lines for that video. They used 2, but when I submitted all my lines, the one that stood out to them was the bang thing line. So that I knew that was going to be in the video. So I was happy for you for that one.
Thank you. All right, next question. Okay, here we go. Galactic Command's got the big question. So this is going to be first for Buster, then Vertigo, then we'll go to Fastcart myself. What about the ropes and tying people?
Oh, yes.
Buster.
Let me sit up
Buster
for this
will make
question.
you cry
All right,
like
here we go.
baby. Mistress Buster will make you cry like a baby on day at the born. I'm sorry, but that, okay, when they talked about, how did they, that there had to be somebody at CIG that saw that, like whether, maybe on the content team that was going, yeah, we're going to get a lot of YouTube comments this week. Like, they're coming along. Because that shit was funny.
That was not kidnapping. I mean, I guess that's the scenario you're playing out when you call it kidnapping, in the bedroom. But you can call it what you want. That does not look like kidnapping.
If you want
everything,
if Slyfez, if you want my services in the game, it's gonna cost you a cool 50K credits per hour.
Yeah, there we go.
It's just me telling you, it's just you're tied up, and I just tell you how bad you are.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It works. There we go.
There's some high heels in the game. I can work that in.
It's okay. I'm gonna undercut Buster and only offer my services for $30K an hour. But I don't have the
30K. Really?
Yeah. I'll also come to your house and make you crash after telling you how much of a naughty person you are.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
You've been naughty at Star Systems.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to undercut both of you and go 3/5.
Of course.
3/5 of the credit. Yeah, there we go. Vertigo. What about that whole thing?
Why? Why do we need rope simulations in Star Citizen? Rope and pulleys? Why? Like, we have tractor beams.
It's
because not everything is, look, the rope and the pulley, there's like 7 machines, like the 7 machines that sort of like pulled humanity, so to speak.
Yeah, the rope, the pulley, the incline,
the wedge,
the screw, the wedge.
Yeah. And look, don't fix it if it ain't broke. Like it's an essential machine for a reason. Simple machines, the 7 simple machines. And I think that will be useful through the end of time. It may not always be something we use, but I mean, not everything needs to have a tech solution.
What are you talking? They're literally having to work on rope physics. I wonder. Well, that was the one problem I had with like games like Wasteland and like Fallout. Like, you didn't use ropes enough. But I guess Star Citizen's going to make up for all that because we're in the future. You can just fly wherever you want. You're just going to throw a rope down, like the Cutlass. Like, not the Cutlass. What was it? It was Paul. There was the carrot commercial. Oh my God, it's coming
Yeah.
true. They demoed the ropes off for us.
Yes.
In that
Well,
commercial with
I
climbing.
can tell you why ropes are being put in the game, because Chris Roberts played Last of Us 2 and saw the rope puzzles and decided that we needed to have rope puzzles in Star Citizen and Squadron 42. And I'm gonna sit here. If anyone tells me I'm wrong, prove it, because that's what Chris Roberts says with every one of his games. Oh, I played this game, let's add it to the game. That's not just a Chris Roberts problem. In fact, that's a problem with every single gameplay developer in the history of games. I just played this really cool game. How can we add this to the experience?
And to be honest, like being hogtied while you get spanked by Mistress Buster is just a bonus to that. Beautiful bonus.
I mean, they do have lube and handcuffs in every.
They do.
Every house. I mean, like, and they were talking about kidnapping. They have like, did you see like the Reddit post where they had like the bondage? They took the kidnapping one, they put bondage on it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a mature rated game. Why not? We can all have fun, right? As long as like nobody's getting hurt.
There we go. As long as everyone's consenting.
As long as everyone's consenting.
Well,
you think the safe word is just a joke? No, this is legit gonna come. This is legit coming to Star Citizen, and then you'll be coming in Star Citizen.
I mean, what's the other game that people always bring up other than Star Wars Galaxies with Star Citizen? It's fucking Second Life, and I don't doubt it.
I'm going to bring that up. I was going to say that.
Second Life is
thing I was going to
basically
say
just
is
like
people are hoping for Star Citizen to be the next Second Life. I think if they bring this into the game, that will please a lot of people.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
do you think there's gonna be like part of like Grimhex, or people are gonna go down in that below part, and there's
Yeah. Yeah, there's just going to be a very gentlemanly club down there. That's all I'm going to say. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. No, I don't guarantee it. I don't know, but like. All right, we've thoroughly demonetized the hell out of this video. Let's move on to the next.
Sorry.
I'm going to call you later, okay?
Del Enar asks. Okay, no, here we already. It's more stuff about ropes and stuff. Okay, Blizzard also asks about ropes. Okay, we got it.
Paul, are we at the end of our rope with these questions?
I might be, because I have dinner waiting 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll speed run 30 minutes because most of the
Lightning
stuff
round.
is pretty decent stuff.
It's
all right,
baked
so
ziti.
ooh, this is good.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm jealous.
Elwalk asks, why is Paul's heart so big that in honor of Black History Month, he's pledged to donate all of today's stream proceeds to Fastcart? I will give all of this today's stream proceeds.
Tell you what, we'll come to a compromise. We'll give him three fifths of
today's proceeds.
Revenue.
Yeah.
Proceeds.
Zero will be zero. So yeah, thank you, Paul. I appreciate that.
Mud Trucker asks, what gameplay can you imagine for the planet Navmesh, and what do you think will release? And what do you think will released for Gray Zero, for Tier Zero? Oh, for Tier Zero.
Gray Zero,
okay.
Tier Zero.
I think we're going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
Racing.
Yeah. Wandering NPCs. Following wandering NPCs. That's the gameplay we'll see.
Those new rec sites they've added, those Caterpillar rec sites, I definitely think we'll see pirates wandering around a certain distance away from them, probably within a kilometer. You'll have NPCs wandering around outside. You'll have to land, take them out. Maybe we'll see ground vehicles.
Literally, in one of the recent monthly reports, they talk about a quote-unquote wandering trader, which will be around in places, and then if you meet them, they will take you back to their ship to trade if you have things that are too big.
Wait, don't go to a second location, chat. Just don't.
Not without telling someone first. Find a consenting adult.
Oh.
But for real though, like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's literally in one of the monthly reports that they're working.
It makes me
on
think of that guy
behavior.
from Zelda.
Yeah.
With the nose, like he has the little red nose.
Yeah. Or like the wandering traders in like Fallout games or Skyrim or something like that. So the Resident Evil trader, yeah. So like I don't again, this is also CIG. So what's in a monthly report to be done could end up not coming into the game for 4 years. You know?
Yeah, whatever.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. The game will be out in 4 years. It'll be on Polygon and Kotaku. Yeah.
Yes. CIG developer claims Star Citizen's coming out in 4 years.
Knight Rider's just somewhere going.
Too bad Knight Rider can't delete your Twitch channel.
Wait.
Oh, she's got emotes for this.
There we go.
Oh.
She literally turned that into a meme emotes.
All right. What do you think? We talked about Buster. Fastcart, what do you think? We'll be there. Oh, you already said racing.
Yeah, I already said.
Buster, what do you think?
Stuff.
Huh? I don't know, stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Fastcart. Moving on. Let's go. Lightning round. We got 11 questions left.
Lightning round. Let's go.
One of the questions is, do you guys like cinnamon buns? I love cinnamon buns.
Yes.
They're very good.
They're good. I like them.
Is that
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke with Nick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he asked me one day what would my my pickup line for Jared Huckabee be, and I was like, well, he loves cinnamon, and I was saying, I don't know, like something about like cinnamon.
God.
I want cinnamon in my butt, and then I was like, no.
Okay, so I have a story about my parents about this and how vanilla their sex life is.
Oh God, why?
My mother was dating my stepfather.
Okay,
and
everybody.
this is back when they were they met through church, right? They're super innocent, both of them. They're adorable. And my mother invited him over to the house to cook him dinner. And she comes out of the kitchen and asks him, do you prefer breasts or thighs? And he blushes.
Oh my God!
That is the story of just how innocent my parents are.
And cut.
And cut.
Uh,
yeah, right. It's adorable, that story. I love it. That's just my mom. That's my stepfather in a nutshell. Like, honey, do you prefer breasts or thighs? It just silence and blushing.
And y'all think it's a coincidence this motherfucker is such, whatever the fuck he is.
Corny motherfucker.
A dirty boy.
Pace Cape asks, how important is quantum for the economy? Could one say that Star Citizen economy is based entirely on the quantum when it gets online? Yes. The economy is quantum.
Yeah.
The whole quantum system is the economy. Like the entire
we
dynamic.
only one ninth of the players are only going to be 1/9 or 1/10 of everything. So we won't really have an effect. That's the plan anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have some effect if we work together as a large group of players, but even the dynamic missions themselves are spawned from the quantum. So you don't get missions, like our current mission system is like a placeholder. Like in the future, you will have bounty hunting missions, but they're not going to spawn at a certain rate. They'll just be dependent on how many quanta outlaws are in the region for you to get those missions in the first place. So it is the economy. It's not just the economy, but it's like a third of the game. A third of the game is just quanta. A third of the game is things that come from persistence, and a third of the game comes from things like server meshing. Like those are the three big elements of Star Citizen. So, all right, next question. 9 questions left. Steve B. Dancer asks, do you feel there should be a charge for being regenerated? And how much should they charge?
I think it should be covered in under your insurance.
You can tell this is space America.
Well, there's going to be life insurance. They've already said that. They're going to have life insurance policies, I believe.
You can tell this is space America. Just saying.
Yeah, everything. That's why it's kind of a dystopian nightmare in the Star Citizen universe. The lore is not you would not want to live in the Star Citizen universe between the mega corporations owning everything and the average person living on a dirt ball with no options for living outside of it. So yes, they will charge you
it's
for
basically
everything.
like Starship Troopers, the book, and Starship Troopers, the book is not. It's not a good place to live in.
Well, you'd hear people who are.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask is like, if you could choose between Marvel Universe, the DC Universe, or Star Citizen Universe, which universe would you want to live in? I don't think anyone would pick the Star Citizen universe.
No, Star Trek is so much better. Even Star Wars is so much better than Star Wars, than Star Citizen. So, but yeah, I think there will be a fee, but it'll be covered under your insurance. So, and yeah, there will be insurance, life insurance and health insurance. You will have to pay copays or premiums, and that's the whole thing. Like LTI for ships is just your premium. It doesn't have anything to do with your deductible, which you.
I just hope I don't have to memorize my Medicare card ID in game, because that'll be too much. Too much realism.
It's all on your mobiGlass. So when you lose your mobiGlass, you won't be able to do anything.
Okay.
You know.
Oh my God! Please don't ever let us leave. Don't even give them that idea. Don't, Chris Roberts.
It's too late. Call him. You gotta call him. Tell him no.
Yeah, no. I know. Oh, I know what you. Yes, I'm aware that you think it's a good idea, but it is not. So stop right now, Mr. Roberts. Okay, I'll tell him he said that. Okay, I gotta go. I'm on a show. Okay, I love you too. Bye. He said he will consider not doing it.
That just means he's going to do it and not tell you about it.
But he really likes it. So good job. Good job. Great. Good job.
All right. Blizzard asks, as we know, there is no problem that magic space lasers can't solve. What problem do you think will be the next to be solved by magic space lasers? Oh gosh, there's a good joke in here that I completely forgot. Oh God.
Repairing ships.
Yeah, well, that's
refueling ships that are out of fuel. Where you're trying
refueling.
To get
There we go. Refuel beams. Yeah.
Because there was a minor controversy on the forums recently when people were like, "Okay, what happened?" Controversy. You haven't ever heard that word before?
No,
I like it, but I'm using it. Hey, woman, I have a goddamn dictionary here that I bought for $50 11 years ago, and I'm gonna use controversy. It's an actual word. There's controversy and controversy.
Okay, I'm looking it up. You don't have to use your.
There you go. Like I will get controversy out of this. I am gonna get mileage out of this book. Do you see how big this book is? You can cover miles with it.
No, you can kill somebody with that book.
I know.
That'll be a murder weapon.
Prolonged public disagreement or heated discussion. Okay.
There you go.
He was not wrong. He's not saying controversy. He's saying
I'm not stupid. I just act like I am. So there was a mild controversy on the forums recently. People were asking, what happens if the ship runs completely out of fuel and you can't dock? Because that's a thing. Like, in order to dock, your ship has to move, and they use the same docking UI to attach to the Starfarer. You can't have the Starfarer dock to the other ship to fuel it up. And they're like, oh, we're just going to teleport a little bit of fuel into your fuel tanks so you can dock when you get close to the Starfarer. Reserve fuel is what they're going to call it. And they could do that. They could shoot some beams. Paul, you remember when we used to have those little repair droids?
Yeah.
They'd use their traumatic insemination nozzles to inject you with fuel, then patch the holes in your hull.
Which looks suspiciously like the camera drones from the Squadron 42 announcement, you know?
Yeah, suspiciously.
I can't wait for rearming, the rearming lasers that'll be fired to like when you run out of ammo.
Rearming lasers. I have
shoot a laser at your...
and missiles, just builds the missile right on your ship, like Nano, a 3 prints the missile as the laser shoot at your ship.
Go ahead, Fastcart.
I got one for you. First of all, I just want to say I love you all. Y'all are so much fun. The second thing is I want to say maybe a hacking laser.
Hacking lasers. There we go.
Hacking lasers.
What about makeup lasers?
There we go. There we go.
That would be sick.
Building lasers where you just shoot a laser at the ground and it creates a colony.
Minecraft.
I can't wait for the pioneer mining building laser.
What about a guitar that has lasers for strings?
There we go.
Oh God!
Guitars.
Like
okay.
remember Okay, so you remember Star Trek? What was it? It was the one where Deanna Troi and Riker got married. Which one was that? And they had those stupid futuristic symbols that were like made out of plastic. You have laser symbols.
Oh yeah,
for your drum set.
Oh, that was that
Nemesis?
Nemesis, yeah, it was Nemesis, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the episode.
You can have little light sticks to beat on the light symbols on your drum set.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right. So we've got 7 questions left, and they're all actually kind of I'll skip this. This is the last silly question, and everything else is kind of
No, we're not done with silly questions. Because Paul, did you realize that a flashlight is just a really light, really weak light-based flamethrower?
I play 40K, of course, and I'm an Imperial Guard player. Of course, I know that the flashlight is just a really weak light flamethrower. That's why they call them flashlights instead of las guns. Okay,
Instead of las guns.
All right. This question comes from Hey It's Nick, who says, since it's Coromore and Valentine's Day passed, what would your pickup lines be?
Ooh.
I already have one.
Go ahead,
For
Vertigo.
Star Citizen.
Okay.
You ready for this? I thought of this one years ago.
Let's go.
You go to a bar, Citizen. You see a cute girl down at the end of the bar.
Guard. Yeah.
You walk up to her and you say, "Hey, do your parents work for Drake Interplanetary?" And she says, "No. Why?" But because you seem like such a cute lass to me.
That's a good one.
Oh my god.
That's a good bad one. That's a great bad one.
He's been saying that for forever.
I finally get to use it.
Buster, what
Do I have my book?
you have a book of pickup lines?
I have like 40 in this book, but I won't read all of them. Don't worry.
Okay.
Let me find it.
Want me to go?
Go Fastcart. Go Fastcart. Go Fastcart.
I have 2. These are 2 lines that I did that were not used in the Coromore video. So I'm going to try to use my best ability with them voice for it. Okay. But if I had a nickel every time someone is beautiful like you told me that, I'd have $1.25, which is an old Earth currency, of course. The other one I would want to say, hey, want to take a ride with me on my cart? Baby, once you go cart, you never want to part. Works every time.
Yes. I don't have pickup lines. I'm terrible at those sorts of things. Go ahead.
One of the best ones of all time. Hey, baby, want to come over to my place? I got a couch we can stand on.
God.
I'll give one.
Okay, Buster.
What? You got a couch we can stand on. That's so funny.
Good.
This is funny. Okay. Here. And I say this one all the time. My community can confirm. Hey, baby, did it hurt when you fell from OM1?
That was so bad. That's so bad. That's
See,
I'll just redo the one that's in the video for you. We could get to know each other back on my Mustang Beta. I call her the Bangstein.
There we go. I don't have pickup lines.
Next question. You'll work on one. You'll tell us another time.
I'll find one. I'll figure it out. I'll ask my wife. She's better at it. Midnight Black SC asks, any thoughts on what can be done to make Xenothreat better after this last round?
Ooh.
Like we talked about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about like having like ground vehicle play.
Having wreck sites on the surface of a moon or something that you can
which means they would actually have to move it somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
Or it could be a whole like it could be like a fail phase, right? It would be cool if you fail at the battle or something, like it obviously breaks the javelin apart and like maybe the javelin crashes into something and then it's like, okay, well, since you failed, you got to go get all the stuff off the javelin. You got to go recover the javelin, like salvage, before the pirates do.
Okay. I can see it like that. Yeah, like
the only thing I wanted to improve on Xenothreat is to get rid of some of the bugs that break Xenothreat on the server. I hate joining on a server that Xenothreat is broken on, and you can't really tell until you like either ask in chat or you get out there and see this isn't right. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm on a bad server.
I've always had I think the first phase of Xenothreat is dumb. It's stupid. And no, I don't mean the cargo phase. I mean what CIG calls phase 1, which is just Xenothreat announcing their presence.
For like an hour.
Steve threatening everybody with a bad time.
That's
phase 0. CIG calls it phase 0. It's phase 1 to me. Like I start counting from 1 CIG, but it's not.
I get it too because it's to get the player to go, oh, Xenothreat's on. Let's get over there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, is when Xenothreat's running and running and running for days at a time for testing, it's not like most people are gonna be at Mike L1. Like to me, that works better if like Xenothreat's a total surprise to the server.
Yeah, and even then, I think you should have a slow build up because having something
and for newer players who don't know what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, like you should have a slow build up. Like I don't mind the announcement, but we should have the announcement, and then the next phase is just random attacks happening at various stations across Stanton. So like
you have war on multiple fronts.
Yeah. So you because you start feeling like CDF calls for aids, like we're getting attacked by Xenothreat at at the current coordinates, or have like call for aid, like the supply ships are being jumped, and you have to just go to random locations and fight off Xenothreat from attacking supply ships. Similar, just basically those what are those called? The ECN alerts, an ECN alert, but like for Xenothreat,
defending the military.
Yeah. Or like hey, we're being attacked at this station. Go clear out these Xenothreat who are attacking the station. And go out before kill it. It's like little small scale conflicts, so you can feel like, oh, they're everywhere. They're coming in and attacking, and we have to kind of respond. Because that would make a little bit more sense when you get up to that big climactic battle of 3 Idrises. It's kind of cheap to just have like that sort of refill the javelin goes out, and you have this big battle. Like you need to have some slow buildups over time so people can
or even like an escort of the javelin, like getting a bunch of fighters together to escort the javelin, like going a fairly short distance. It doesn't have to go super far away, but just like that idea of like it's an actual escort mission too, a little bit in there. But I like Xenothreat the way it is now, obviously, but it's been fun. But it's but
fix the bugs. Like that's probably the biggest thing.
Fix the bugs. I mean,
I was in a server that should have been running it the other day.
Oh, new rewards. Yeah.
New rewards would be nice. Really, the Xenothreat's fine for like the first phase of like an open like Stanton. It works in Stanton very well because it's very much scripted to work in Stanton. So I can't imagine CIG adding much to with it because the problem with Xenothreat is like the performance is terrible. And if you have a lot of people there, performance is terrible. If you have almost no one there, it's just oppressively difficult. Like I've done Xenothreat with like 10 people, and there's almost no breathing room to actually load cargo because you're constantly spawning AI constantly just out of nowhere, and it's just like, where are these guys coming from?
And it's not just
and when I'm the only person there, I immediately get blown up.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if there was a base that like the pirates were basing out from nearby, like a derelict base or like a small space system station or something that they took over, so you could have the opportunity to even like choke them, at the pass, so to speak.
Yeah, stop. Just kind of push back at them. Yeah.
That way, you could have people who are more into the fighting, like go and try to choke that, like, or bottleneck that. And then when it does get out into like the derelict area, then it's like, okay, like you can handle, but who knows? I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a question from Delinar who asks, is CIG running the risk of burning people out on events in the game by running them so frequently?
Maybe.
I agree with that.
I think so. I think they need to add more events. I think right now they're
getting there, guys. They're getting there.
They even said in the
the game's in alpha. It's not even out yet. Talk about how. So yeah.
But also, they need to test what they have and to make future events better too. Like, remember, part of your agreement into this community is like, if you can, like, help make it better by giving feedback. So give that feedback.
Well, there is theater of war.
Oh God, that's true.
Theaters of where?
theaters of where? Gosh, what was I going to say? Oh, they did recently in the last monthly report. They talked about, the narrative team talked about that they were doing line reads and writing for another unannounced event that was going on.
Ooh.
So they will be adding more events, obviously. But I do
they talked about they have a lot in the pipeline.
I do think that they're using the current events as kind of a crutch currently.
Yeah.
For lack of content, which is.
But also for testing like concepts and aspects that will make future event that will benefit future events.
Yeah. All right, we've got 4 more questions. Midnight Black asks, do you think you have to worry about NPCs on the surface with railguns or rocket launchers? Or
I hope so.
Ballista?
Yes.
Please.
Yes. Please.
I hope so.
Give me 15 NPCs with ballistas, so I just get absolutely aced when I try to go to a location. So
I absolutely hope that.
I'm gonna raise you. How about a burial stalker with a railgun?
Oh God. That just sounds like a good night out in the town, Fastcart. I don't know what you're talking about. Sly Fez asks, with LTI being offered with every release of a new vehicle, will LTI be able to buy when the Star Citizen goes live?
Okay.
What?
There's a whole thing about that, y'all.
Okay.
Right? Like they've always said, right, that they're not going to sell ships anymore once the game's released. Like it'll be, you have to earn them in game. So basically the reward is for all of you backing now is that you are getting access, like you will have permanent access to those ships in terms of LTI instead of having to earn them in game later. Like you'll start off at an advantage compared to new players who are totally new to it when it's released. That's what they've always said. That I'll let Paul talk.
They've made way too much money off selling ships to back away from selling ships. I think they're going to keep selling ships as long as they don't officially release. They can never break that promise.
I was going to say the caveat is they will sell the Mustang and the Aurora game packages. Other than that, they'll probably stop selling ships in its current incarnation. So just the game packages.
I imagine if something new came out after release, they would give people the opportunity to buy that. But who knows? Who knows? I
don't know. I think that one of the ways they could probably make money in the future is by having subscriptions. If you have a subscription, you automatically get LTI on all your ships, because it's such as it's been constantly said, LTI is nothing. It just means that you don't have to pay basic insurance.
You don't have to pay. Yeah, you don't have to pay your base monthly premiums on the ship. It's just a slight. I'm pretty sure they're going to make the initial purchase for insurance like really cheap. The replacement costs are going to be really expensive.
They can still sell cosmetics for ships or cosmetics for people too. So that's another way they can make money.
And just selling the game. I mean, let's talk. Don't forget, Squadron 42 is going to be a paid experience. Like you got to buy that separate from Star Citizen. That's going to be money banks one day. Anyway, what about you, Paul?
I don't know. As I said, I think it's going to be subscription based. I don't like the idea of being able to sell it separately from the ships. So, but
I don't think it'll be subscription based because you already have a subscription program, and that'll be just confusing.
They might change it. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know, chat.
Yeah. We've got last two questions. Death Trooper 1177 asks, "What's your thoughts on the buyback and CCU changes that were made?"
We went over that on Soul Talk on Thursday night. Every few years they always change the system,
CCU,
and it's just a matter of them being better at communicating the changes instead of finding it in a fine print somewhere by accident, or I think if they would just come out and say these are the changes we're planning on making, and have a common post about it, that'll be fine. But just sneaking it somewhere in a fact somewhere that's hard to find, I think that would tick people off a lot. I'm okay with the changes. It's the first change that really burned me was having the CCU price change in my buyback. Like if I had a Super Hornet that used to be 165 in my buyback, but when they changed the price to 180, everything was adjusted to 180 in my buyback. So I did find that kind of annoying, but I wasn't like that bent out of shape about it. So
I thought it was just warp on CCUs that changed.
It is.
Other stuff was just fine.
Yeah.
So
so
I mean, like it's basically all cross chassis upgrades. They, for as far as I'm aware of, they always changed in values if the ship changed in values.
so there was a point before that it didn't.
Okay, so for a long time, then I'll make that for a long time to my knowledge that CCUs changed in value when ships changed in values. And this was just basically making war bond CCUs, which was a new thing that CIG recently upped. Like within the last year or so, war bond CCUs started showing up. If anyone wants to correct me on that one, because I don't remember
2 years.
Past 2 years, yeah. So basically making war bond CCUs operate the same way that CCUs operate. But everybody assumed that because war bond pledges were covered under the permanent will always keep their pricing, people thought war bond CCUs would always do that. But CIG changed that in like a little thing on a web page, and people found it, and now they're upset. And I'm just like, CIG, maybe you should have sent out an email.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should have used your
a comlink post, like I said. Yeah.
Instagram. You have a web page. You have the forums that you spent a lot of money building. Instead of just getting like V Bolton or something. You also have a YouTube channel. You have a Twitch channel. You have Instagram. We are so connected all over the world these days that honestly, this is almost inexcusable from a man who says he wants to treat us like investors. That's where I feel insulted, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pledge from Chris Roberts all those years ago. Is this like, this is how you're going to communicate with us? Is this, you're going to bury it in the sand like a fucking cat buries a turd in the cat litter box?
I was gonna say
it's frustrating, exhausting even.
I was gonna say it's an L that they didn't have to take, because the reality is it's nothing. It's just buyback CCUs. There was a change that said that some discount like war bond stuff ships would be affected, but I've not seen. No one has seen anything.
Anything that had the price. Anything that had the original price listed lower, and the discount prices next to it. If you had the little cross out on the original price and had a new price listed on it, that's the stuff that will change if you melted.
Yeah.
But war bond pledges, which have the price stamped right on them, that price will stay. And same with the other pledges, the normal pledges you buy with store credit.
Okay. So
that's that stuff.
It's just and the CCU, which is like, if you're buying a CCU, you're playing the
you're playing the web store game, which honestly is not advisable. If you don't know what you're doing, don't play the web store game. Just get the ships you want. Don't give CIG a bunch of money to sit on, because they're not a fucking bank. We go back to the refunds all those years ago. CIG is not a bank. They're not going to give you your money back because they're NFTs. Spending that money. Yeah, they're spending your money on building a product. It's going to hardworking people that are applying a trade: artists, coders, graphic designers, network engineers. All these people would like to have a paycheck at the end of every week, so they can't necessarily give everybody their money back. If Chris Roberts farts and nobody likes the way it smells, they just can't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like CIG, they could have come out and put they could have sent everybody emails at the end of the, get a monthly email like, hey, 60 days from now, war bond CCUs are going to change. Just a heads up, everybody, if you want to get stuff back at the whatever price there is right now, you have to get it back now before the change happens. Could have been that way. But either way, CIG was going to eat a ration of shit. Paul, you know how this community is. Yeah. Anytime something changes against out of the community's favor, they're upset. So I'm just saying, just man up to it. Do it like a Band-Aid and just rip it off real quickly and just deal with the pain as quickly as possible. And said, hey, we told you in advance, we did our part, and then move on.
Yeah, I mean that's the reality. Is that no matter what CIG does, they could say that the sky is blue and the community would lose its fucking mind sometimes.
What about the colorblind people? CIG, they see the sky a slightly different color. Oh,
you know what I mean?
I know. There's literally be people upset about everything in Star Citizen. There's people who want to design. Well, never mind. We'll just keep going. Lightning round. More
yeah.
questions. Sorry, I forgot.
We have one more question left, but the point being, like, no matter what CIG does, they're done. So, go ahead.
Nothing. Just go. Next question.
Last question.
I'm ready.
Midnight Black SC asks, the ability to pressurize and depressurize rooms was just added to the progress tracker. Is life support and maybe fire coming over the horizon? Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
I mean, they've been showing fire for like, I want to say a year now on ISC.
They've been showing the prototypes, the early work in progress stuff.
Even fire's like in the game. It's just not in the ship yet.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't propagate properly. Your ship doesn't catch on fire. But they had a little bit, but they had like suit punctures they were showing off on like pre 3.0 inside around the verses back then. I remember just before 3.0 release, they were showing off like being able to get your suit punctured, and you had to patch your suit up to prevent it from leaking out. So yeah, like life support's going to be a big deal in Star Citizen. In your flight suit, like you're going to use up oxygen. In your ships, you're going to use up oxygen. The amount of life support your ship has is going to determine how big your crew can be and how far you can go. Besides just your fuel, hydrogen, and quantum, like how long you can live inside that ship. In fact, you're going to be able to. They talked about one of the things in one of the, I think it was either Star Citizen Live or an Inside Star Citizen. They talked about how you're going to be able to salvage like atmosphere from ships and water if they have water in their fuel and their tanks, because you're going to have like drink dispensers in your ships.
Running water.
And how that was going to be very important for like survival out in like the unknown wastes in Star Citizen.
I can't wait for the first streamer when fire propagates properly. Can't wait for the first streamer to say, "This is fine, surrounded by fire all over the place."
I already have something like that. I tweeted that out years ago. My Grey Cat caught on fire while I was driving out of Hurston. I hit a rock, and the Grey Cat lit on fire, and I went into third person. I just got myself just sitting in the wheel, holding the steering wheel, just surrounded by fire, Grey Cat fire.
Fire used to not really hurt you. It does actually hurt you now. I have made the mistake of, going, hey, I wonder if fire will hurt me. Yes, it will hurt me.
The refinery decks, you can jump into like the open vats of
and on
ore.
the derelict crashes.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, where there's fire, like it will hurt you, and I'm like, oh okay, good job.
So the other thing to remember is that in the last monthly report, they said specifically they're starting to work on life support.
Yep.
They said that's the next thing they're doing. Now that refueling is winding down and salvage is kind of in the process of getting done, they started to look at life support. So that's what it is. So
every time CIG finishes off one gameplay thingy, they move on to another gameplay thingy that's part of the original pitch, the vision. PhD, baby, piled high and deeper, just more layers. This buggy lasagna we're building.
Speaking of, I have baked ziti at home.
And I think this is it. That's the last question. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us here at the Astropub. Thank you for all these questions, a good solid hour and 30 minutes. So not bad. Please do follow Fastcart, HCVertigo, and Buster the Destroyer on all of their social medias. If you'd like to watch this live Saturdays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC, where we're here almost every Saturday to come ask your own questions for the various cast members we have. Thank you for joining us, and like I say always, hope to see you someday in the black. There you go.
Not my dad, too. Happy Black History Month, everybody.
God.